So the boys from NASCAR, the pride of Southern racing, left the high-banked super speedways of home and towed their race cars to Ontario, California. They visited this new $25 million speedway for the first time last year. Well, they drove the only way they knew, in a flat-out, belly-down charge for the checkered flag. And the fans? Well, they spent almost 4 adrenaline-filled hours screaming and cheering for their favorites and went home talking to themselves. And you know, they must have remembered, because when the Rebels returned this year for the Miller 500, they jammed the stands.
If action sold for $1 a pound, you could get rich at this track. And today's running of the Miller 500 looks like a wild one. The finest stock car drivers in the world were assembled here, and the bait they dangled in front of them was a purse worth $208,000. The 51 fastest qualifiers were lined up for the 3 abreast start. A.J. Foyt's speed of 153.217 gave him the quickest time and the pole position in number 21, the Wood Brothers Purolator Mercury. Bobby Allison started alongside in the number 12 Coca-Cola Chevrolet, with Richard Petty on the outside in the number 43 Plymouth. Then it was Buddy Baker, Bobby Isaac, and Red Farmer, with Mark Donahue in the 3rd row. Now the entire field rounds out of the 4th turn and onto the front chute for the green flag. There it is, and they're off. As they enter the 2nd turn, Petty jabs at Plymouth hard and fires past Foyt on the outside to take the early lead. Through the 4th turn, Richard Petty goes a little high, and A.J. screams underneath him on the front chute to take the number 1 spot. Uh-oh, 426 cubic inches just exploded like a hand grenade under the hood of George Fulmer's 72 Dodge Charger, and Don Knowles spins his Ford in the oil slick. On the 38th lap, Doc Faustina, driving for Walter Ballard, loses the steering in his Plymouth, goes through the infield out of control, crashes into the wall, and spins across the track. This brings out another yellow flag, and the pit action is spectacular. Petty, Baker, Foyt, Allison, Donahue. The lead cars were in for tires and fuel and were out in less than 25 seconds. On the restart, it's A.J. Foyt that breaks out into the lead in the Mercury number 21. But Petty and Allison both want the lead, and they cut through the slower cars like a hot knife through butter. Bobby Allison is 2nd, Petty 3rd, Baker 4th. All follow Foyt through turn 2. Watch out. Kevin Terrace in the red number 32 lost it down low, and Tallis in number 23 spun to avoid hitting him. Through the first turn, Petty moves around Herschel McGriff in number 4 in an all-out battle to catch Foyt. On the front chute, Bobby Allison in the Coca-Cola Chevy takes Richard Petty on the inside for the second place spot. Now he gives chase to A.J. Petty-Allison duel continues as Richard whips back into second through the fourth turn. As the race goes on, cars continue to drop out. This time it's the number 99 Plymouth driven by Don White with a blown head gasket. The Wood brothers call Foyt in for tires and fuel. Buddy Baker wheels his Dodge in for the same reasons. This is flat-out racing rebel style. Every car on the track is after A.J. Foyt, and he knows it. There goes another one. Cecil Gordon put his Mercury on a spinner all the way across the track and crashed into the retaining wall. This puts number 24 out of the race and draws another yellow flag. These boys love to dive in on a caution flag, and pit road becomes a bedlam. It also gives the California race fans a chance to see the fastest pit stops in racing. Wood brothers have Foyt out in 19 seconds. If he wins this one, much of the thanks can go to that pit crew. Watch it. The Petty Plymouth number 43 is handling badly. He heads back into the pits where they find out the lug nuts were not tight on the right front wheel. This costs Richard a lot of valuable time. Petty comes back on the track in front of Foyt, but A.J. still has the lead. Richard is down almost one full lap. Foyt holds the lead. Bobby Allison second, Buddy Baker third, and Petty fourth. Into turn 3, Foyt slips down low and passes Petty's Plymouth to get Richard one full lap down. Both Petty and Allison are handling well and gain on Foyt through the turns. But A.J. unleashes that big Mercury and runs away on the straights. That extra pit stop of Petty's to tighten the right front wheel could have made the difference. He can run with Foyt, but he can't make up the lap it cost him. Allison in number 12 and Baker in 11 are dicing for the second place spot and have been swapping it for the last 20 laps. Here's A.J. Foyt on his last lap as he pounds through the fourth turn and screams down the front chute for the checkered flag, the winner of the Miller 500.